Normally out of 7 we do this one, but right now the buck stops here. So away you go.
Well, I'm going to keep this short and sharp because normally I'm a team guy over an individual guy.
You are.
But I was taken over the weekend, moved to change the buck stops here to 5 individuals that I saw.
Love it. I don't know who they are, but there better be one bloke in there. I'll just put you on notice.
Well, the first guy is Paddy Cripps. I mean, what sort of year is this bloke putting together? But that particular performance, he wins clearance and contested ball through the middle of the ground. And because Carlton have got their backs sorted and their other midfielders, he floats forward and he's hitting the scoreboard. He's using, we are seeing his strengths optimised and coming to the fore. He's in a purple patch.
That's the most impressive thing, isn't it? We knew he could do all the other stuff. We wondered whether he could get back to it, but he's added the next layer.
Absolutely, and he's in great form. Could have polled 15 votes out of his 5 games already, on fire. The next, in very similar fashion, is Max Gawn. When I say in a similar fashion, he's plying his trade as a ruckman through the middle of the field, but then he's going forward, not just as a forward, but in the ruck role as well. And we're seeing these aerial threats where coaches are understanding how important they are to get forward of the ball because opposition defenders are aerial threats and you need to fight fire with fire.
What about his kicking from outside 50? He's no good inside 50, but outside 50.
No, he's getting better, isn't he? He's getting better.
Hey, well, I want to take it a step further, but keep going.
But what a star! And when the questions came up around sort of like Jackson, etc., well, he just keeps standing up. And as we know, he's a very selfless player, but my God, has massive impact on the game. The third guy, Lachie Neale. I just feel that this guy, when the game is on the line, I saw the game live against Collingwood, and in that 6-goal burst in the second quarter, it was he that was able to win key balls to the middle. There is not a player in the competition that is cleaner around the ball and can get from the inside to the outside through congestion and find a way to put a teammate in space than Lachie Neale. He's an agile Greg Williams. From way back, like just with his hands and with his use, he just creates so much. I love watching the bloke play.
And he had Callum Mills, who we sung the praises of so broadly last week. He had him for company, which adds an even deeper layer to it.
But he's the type of bloke that makes, he contributes and more than contributes, he dominates games, but he makes blokes around him even better. Just a fantastic performer. Fourth guy, Shea Bolton. There were 2 other really good players, Jaden Short and Tom Lynch, in that match, and Richmond had plenty going for them. But Shea Bolton's game and the season he's putting together has been first class. He's an aerial threat as well when he jumps and flies in the front half. But he uses his speed to advantage, and I thought his selflessness was really evident in the game. And lastly, but not leastly, Leastly. Anyway, that's a word. I'll take it. This guy was the person that motivated this segment, and he's come back into the GWS side. It's Toby Green. We underrate the impact of key players out of sides, and we do that so that we put criticism and we judge other people at times, coaches, teams. Toby Green makes a massive difference to his team. Now, he kicked 4 of the first 8 goals. GWS got off to a flying start against Adelaide, who were probably a little bit ahead of themselves, but they needed a response, and this guy's missed a lot of footy. Comes back in, and it's not just what he does with the ball, it's the energy that he gives his teammates. So they're 5 elite performances over the weekend that resulted in wins for their respective sides from amazingly talented and gifted players that just have a will to win.
And you're not trying to be clever. You're not trying to find someone that no one else has seen. These players are well known to everyone, of course. So I think it's great recognition from you, who rarely goes down this path. So there's Cripps, it's Gawn, it's Neale, it's Bolton, it's Green. We're coming up to 7:30. We've got Sammy Edmund not far away. I want to ask you about Essendon from a team point of view. So I'll give you a little bit of notice as we head towards some news headlines. The Bombers have fallen. They've fallen dramatically. Other clubs had as well, but they found a way on the weekend. The GWS Giants did. The Western Bulldogs did. The Bombers remain rooted to the bottom part of the ladder, and Essendon fans clearly want to know why. So you're the man, Bucks.
Momentum in seasons is key, and the best sides can maintain their momentum because they're better than everyone else, and they just keep winning. the middling sides, just need to grind out a win here or there that just keeps their momentum going. The sides that are down the bottom are the ones that just can't get any going and can't maintain it, can't turn it around. And Essendon are one of those. I reckon I'm seeing a side that are a bit spooked by their really tough start to the year. They played 3 of the best sides in the comp.
Right.
And I just, so they played Brisbane, they played Melbourne, and they got smacked. And I reckon you're seeing the fruits of a full pre-season and a bit of confidence going in, and then just getting whacked and then not being able to cope with the reality of what they faced.
Yeah.
Now that's an excuse but I think it is something that is there in them, because what I'm seeing is a group that have fractured on field. They're not playing with any synergy. They don't value defence. And I think every one of the good sides in the comp value defence. We're seeing Melbourne.
Why do you
Freo.
see them not? I agree with you, but explain to the people out there, when you watch them, why do you think they don't value defence?
They're just too easy to play against.
So they don't run hard the other way. They don't react quickly on turnover.
There's not enough pressure on the ball, so the ball moves quickly and puts their defence under pressure. One. The second reason their defence under pressure, because their midfielders and high half forwards aren't getting back to clog space and to support their back six. So there's just not enough focus on defensive intent. And we saw Brett Rutten's sides come through last year, and they actually did it off the back of really solid D. Yeah, they've got high ball winners there that can win a lot of the ball.
So why do they go away from that then?
Well, you don't. I wouldn't believe that the game plan would be coached much differently. They believe they were on the right track and that they were playing the right way. But that it's a tough game, and when 1 or 2 or 3 decide that I won't work quite as hard in that phase of the game, it makes a massive impact. We spoke about missing players too.
Yeah,
they are missing a little bit of their speed and some key players. Now, so Snelling has been a key player, and he's not the only one, but they have had almost no representation
the front half
in their pressure at ground level from their small forwards, because they're not selecting any small forwards. Devon Smith has gone out of the side. Snelling is not available. Hind, who did it at St Kilda, is playing off halfback, but he's not there either.
Tip and Woody.
But potentially Tip and Woody's another one. So there's a really key element of good attacking sides and the beginning of the defence that they just simply don't have at the moment.
And for me, they go sideways. I just, whether that's a symptom or I doubt whether it's an instruction. This is from Greg, who's an Essendon supporter. Then we'll take a break and we'll get Sam Edmund in. They weren't close enough finally, right? I was thinking about the Giants and the Swans, I think was the final I had got wrong, but they got beaten by 40-odd points.
Yep.
If you want to score against Essendon, take the ball to your back line and move it the length of the ground unopposed. If you want to stop Essendon scoring, give the ball to Merritt, Parrish, McGrath or Shield. In the last 2 games, they've had a combined 247 possessions and scored 1 point between them. Now, clearly it's not their role to be kicking goals, but I think the point is well made, is that it tends to be, anyway, from my eye, a sideways movement first as opposed to a go-forward movement.
Well, and that is on the offensive side. And
yes, so there's two parts of that.
And that can be a lack of confidence in what you're going forward to.
But you've got Peter Wright sitting there playing against Ryan Gardner, who's a good player and is getting better and has proven me wrong. But there's enough reason for me to go forward.